What's going on, guys? Liam here, and today we're going over round 13 of the 2023 season, going over all the results and how the games played out, and all that sort of fun stuff. Now, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty hard to get up for this week of footy. It was. I was lying in my preview video. I was like, I'm excited for this weekend. I really wasn't, but we ended up having some dope games of footy, and I know last night especially, I nearly fell off my chair a couple of times. Legit. I was on live for one of them, and I rewatched my live. My mouth was open for half of it. It was crazy. The endings to both those games last night were nuts. So it was absolutely crazy. So we'll go over the results really quickly. We'll go into the games in a little bit more depth, the ladder, and some standouts and stuff like that as well. And it was really good standouts this weekend just because all the stars were out, so the new guys got a time to shine. It was really, really good. Dolphins defeat the Dragons. Parramatta get a gutsy win over the Cowboys. The Warriors fall just short. Probably should have won that game, I'm not going to lie, against the Broncos. Rabbitohs fall short against the Raiders. And the Knights edge out the Seagulls. Actually gave them a bit of a hiding as far as tries go, but Hastings could not kick a goal. So let's have a quick look at the ladder. This hasn't updated yet, guys. I do apologise for this. I try and get these videos done as soon as the round of footy ends, just because I don't want to sit around and tomorrow I've forgotten everything that's happened, put it this way. All right, so just so we know, so Broncos have gone back to the top, but these guys have 2 points coming for their buys. Rabbits lost. Storm as well, so they should jump. Oh no, they won't jump in differentials as well. They had a buy too. And there's a little bit of movement too. Doggies will get some points as well, so will the Tigers and a couple of these teams too. So it's not set this way exactly, but it is roughly like this anyway. There's just pretty much, if there's a buy next to their name and it's not these three teams here, they're getting 2 points. Okay, so but yeah, it pretty much looks this way anyway. It's just the Panthers and a couple are going to jump the Broncos, and the Doggies will jump up a spot, will they? Will the Doggies? They'll get 2 points. They're going to jump over the Cowboys dropping down. Ooh, I've got a good one over that one too. So got a lot of thoughts about the Parramatta. It was a huge game for Parramatta and Cowboys for the implications for their season, and I'll go over that in a second. Now, just before I get into this game, I did my multis before the game, and everyone I knew, and if you watch Teamless Tuesdays, watch my videos, you know that I said, don't put Val Meninga in your teams. Well, I said, don't put him in your multis. He's coming off the bench. You might not get a run. And he came on with 3 minutes to go and lost everyone all their money because everyone had him in as try scorers. So that was pretty bad. But, what do you do? Now, this game, look, we're 4 from 5 this week too. So the only one we got wrong was the Broncos one, which I damn close to hitting. But this game kicked off. I thought they looked great. The Dragons at the start. The first 15 odd minutes, they were brilliant. They were really, really good. And then when it pretty much just all turned when DeBellum went to the sin bin, and it was just tries after that. And was it 2 while he was in the bin? Was it roughly 27th minute? So it was only 1, 2. Yeah, it was only 1. But I just felt like the game really shifted around then. The game was really in the balance, and then from then on, their attack is so poor. It's just, I don't know. It was not good. It was not good. Dolphins weren't brilliant either by any means, but yeah, it's just there's just obviously not clicking at the old Dragons, but yeah, it was because they had all the possession at the start. So for the Dolphins to win the possession by this much shows how much dominant they were. Pretty much from the 20th minute on, because the Dragons had all the possession at the start, and yeah, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. And Dolphins again, it's boring, but they just keep completing in the 80s. Really, I was actually quite impressed. That's 82% is actually not horrendous by any stretch, but Jesus Christ, 88% there. I think I might be wrong. I'll have to check next week, but I think they're completing the highest out of any team in the NRL, and it's boring, it sucks, but a completion rate does win your game most of the time. And if you hang around, you're never dead. And they're just. I knew completion rates attributed to you winning, but I just had no idea it had such an impact on it. It's crazy. Dolphins, as far as talent goes, like they're sitting 6th right now. As far as straight talent goes, they're not tops. They're way down here. Like they got, like, let's name teams with more talent than them: Doggies, Cowboys, Roosters, Titans. Yeah. I guess they got a bunch of Origin play. Eels, yeah. Knights for sure. Seagulls, yes. Warriors, yeah. Like they're definitely not the 6th most talented team, but look at them. They're flying. It's absolutely insane. So, this is where they did really win the battle. I thought the forward pack from the Dolphins were really, really handy. They did such a good job. Didn't win the post-contact meters battle, but just banging up, hitting, going. Plenty of meters on offer for both teams, 48 meters each. God damn. Won the ruck though, quite quick, pretty quick play the balls there from the Dragons. The Dolphins did offload a little bit more than they had been, which is, it was pretty good to watch. It was actually one of the more exciting, because Dolphins are pretty boring to watch. You know what I mean? Except for when Kafusi's trying to chop dudes up, but yeah, it was actually a pretty good little performance from the Dolphins, and I actually enjoyed watching it. But I mean, like if you look at the drag, like this is not bad. Like they've completed 82%. You know what I mean? 627 post-contact meters. The average set distance is 48. You know what I mean? Their tackle efficiency is 91. They're good, really good numbers. The missed tackles 20. Like that's great. They're great numbers, but I mean 7 errors. It's fine. Like I've always said, just keep it under 10, and then you can win games. And yeah, there's just something not clicking. Now obviously they're missing Hunt for this game, so you don't. But they've been, I don't know, it's odd, it's strange. I can't put my finger on it, but they're off. Now this game here has massive implications, all right? And hear me out. I've got a little insight, because this game meant a lot more than I thought it did until I looked at it after and went, oh, okay. Now we'll just go over the game real quick. So Scotty Drinkwater scored early, and then I thought they looked great. I thought Drinkwater looked great all game, to be honest. Kyle Felt had a really good bounce back game, and then but Parramatta just kept grinding away. It was quite even, and then just the bloody that second half from Mitch Moses was just brilliant, perfect with the boot. And it was tight. It was a game, and then Moses. I had our last try scorer as well, thank God. And Mitch Moses, that's why you're getting paid the big bucks, baby. Slot these goals and put on points at the end of the game. That's what you're there for, brother. That's what halfbacks get the big buckaroonies for. Now, just before I go into the stats and all this sort of stuff, this, like I just said, this could be huge. There's implications for both these teams for the year, right? Okay, so we know where they're sitting. Not great, either team. Parramatta have shot up quite a bit from that win, and Cowboys are about to drop to 14th, right? Points for and against, minus 93 to Parramatta's 52. Great for and against for Parramatta. In fact, their for and against is fifth best. So they're just behind the Bunnies as far as for and against goes. So that's great. So when Parramatta start chalking up wins or consistent points, they're going to shoot up this list really quickly. Now look at the Parramatta's draw for the next week. They've had a really tough start to the year with injuries. They're about to get a lot of players back. RCG's back next week. RCG's back next week. They'll get Junior Paulo back next week. Madison's 2 weeks away. I think Lane's 2 weeks away. All this sort of stuff. They've got a lot of players coming back. Wonga Blake's coming back. All that sort of stuff. But then if you come over and look at their draw, they're about to have their first bye. Okay? Freshen up, recover, rest, go over game plans, all that sort of stuff. Then they've got the Doggies, very winnable. Then they've got the Seagulls, very winnable. And then they've got the Dolphins, very winnable. And I'm not saying they're going to, but they, like I said, Dolphins aren't world beaters. They can definitely win that. And then another bye. And then the Warriors away from home, which, again, not 100% not a certainty. None of these games are, but they genuinely could rack up. Let's just say, for argument's sake, let's just go to the bye. Let's leave the Warriors off it. But let's say they get 2 points for the bye. They get 2 points for the Doggies. Let's say they beat the Seagulls. Let's just say they lose to the Dolphins and then they get the bye again. That's still 8 points in the next 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. That's 8 points. 8 points will shoot them up this really quickly. They'll be on 20 points all of a sudden with a really good forward against. And they'll just leapfrog, especially if they win the Dolphins game. They'll probably jump right up into like fifth. Like they could literally be in fifth by round what? By round 18. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is the thing. Everyone's saying, "Oh, poor Parramatta with the hard start to a draw." Whenever you have a hard start to the draw, you're going to have an easy patch somewhere. It doesn't matter where your hard patch is. It all evens out in the end. And like I said, Broncos had a bit of an easy patch. Now they're going through a little rough, and then they've got a very rough patch at the end of the season. It all levels out in the end. We all have to play the same teams. You get home and away games. It happens, sort of thing. So Parramatta, they've really got to make sure they knock off at least 2 of these games. That's their first mission, to win 2 of these games at the very minimum, 3 if they can. And if they get all 3, god damn. And then they go into this. And then I'm not saying it gets better, but then they got the Warriors, which again, Warriors away from home, very winnable. Titans at home as well, very winnable. And then the Cowboys, very winnable. All right, so, and then Storm, not very winnable. But they can, obviously. And then they got Dragons. So Parramatta could really, really shoot up the ladder real quick. Then on the flip side, Cowboys, you're in trouble, man. You're in big, big trouble. Big, big, big trouble. Now, you got the bye next week too? Hang on, what? Am I in the... Yeah, Telstra Premiership 2023. You don't have a bye next week. Oh, sorry. I just tripped out so hard then. I'm like, they didn't play the Storm this week. Am I in 2022? Sorry, guys. I was just so confused then. All right, so they've just lost to Parramatta. All right, and they're sitting, they're about to be sitting in 15th. They dead set could. They've got the Storm next week, then a bye, which is good, but then Penrith and then the Bunnies. Oh, bro. They could, they're going to get 2 points, great, but they could dead set go 0-3 here. So they could legit be in their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, be 1 and 6 essentially, and the only win being the bye. Only 2 points being from the bye. And then they got the Titans, and then another bye, and you know what I mean. There's some winnable games at the end of their season, but not many. Like dead set, the way they're playing right now. Like if I had to pick who they're going to beat and not beat from now on, I'd go they're going to definitely lose to the Storm. They're going to lose to Penrith. They're going to lose to the Bunnies. Honestly, if the Tigers play the way they've been playing, I think they'll beat them again. I think Tigers will beat them again. Then they got the bye. It's in Manly. Could win it, but I'd probably pick Manly there. Against Parramatta, I'm probably going to take Parramatta again. Then they got the Titans at the Gold Coast. I'd probably take the Titans. Then they got the Broncos. I think the Broncos get them as well. Then they got the Sharkies. Sharkies are no joke. I think they lose that too. Then they got the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins will beat them. And then they got Penrith. Like, there's a good chance that Cowboys win a couple more games this year. Like, there's a good chance that these guys right here will be the wooden spoon. I'm not like, it's actually insane. I might be tripping here, and there's so many games here they can win as well. Like, they could dead set come out here and beat the Tigers, beat the Sea Eagles, beat Parramatta even. They could even beat, some of these games are very, very winnable, but you wouldn't be shocked if Cowboys only win a few of these games for the rest of the year the way they've been playing. They've been awful. So, massive danger signs, and I might even slap a few bucks on Cowboys to get the wooden spoon, because this is rough. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, it's rough. It's not looking good. So, like I said, I didn't realise what a big game this was between Parramatta and the Cowboys, but it actually had massive impact. Like, could really shoot Parramatta up, and really, like, Cowboys needed that win. They really did. They really, really did. Right, let's get on. So, Broncos Warriors. All right, but let's get the Pompey at the end. Was it Pompey? Yeah. I thought this game was a wrap. Just to be honest, actually, hang on, I haven't finished Parramatta yet. Parramatta and Cowboys yet. I just want to go over the team stats and stuff first. I didn't go through those yet. I got stuck on how bad the Cowboys have got it the next few weeks. But Parramatta were far from perfect, but I definitely need to give some players some raps here. And 2,000 running metres for essentially your backup pack. Like, this is dead set. They lost Dangiawi straight away. Wiramu Greg comes on. You got Bryce Cartwright, who isn't a back rower. Dory, who hasn't been making the team. Hopgood, who's been brilliant. But Offengawi goes off. So Ogden comes on. Nakatoa comes on. This is the dead set. Their reserves, backup players. And they ran for 2,000 metres, which is brilliant. Like, it does, like, good forward packs don't always run for 2,000. Well, 1,900. Look, Dragons didn't do it. I think Broncos might have, but... So Warriors did, Broncos didn't. There you go. Bunnies didn't, Raiders didn't. With their full packs, they didn't. So Parramatta dead set. Parramatta's backup forwards have dead set run for the second most amount meters in this round. That's incredible. I'll tell you what, man. Parramatta, Brad Arthur. It's always been Melbourne have been the best at developing forwards. They've always been the best forward developers in the game. But I'm telling you, he's got to be damn close. If he's a close second, if he's not the best this year, the guy like Wiramu Greg. When I saw him at Cowboy, I did not rate him at all. Honestly, the first time I saw Nakatoa, I didn't rate him. I didn't really like these guys are. And think about it too. Sean Lane came in, bounced around clubs. Dally M second row of the year. Then you got. Papali'i, was he the other Dally M second row of the year? But anyway, if he wasn't, he was damn close. But arguably two of the best second rows of the game last year were bouncing around clubs before that. He's turned Cartwright into a good forward. Junior Paulo and RCG are, from Canberra and Penrith. I know Paulo was originally from Parramatta, but came back to, he was a much better player. Just the way he's developing these forwards, it's just unbelievable. I don't know what he's doing, but it's something else. I'm really interested to see how Offengawi goes, because under BA, he might just go to a new level. Like, he's always had talent, and if he can untap it the way he's done it with some of these guys, it could be huge. It could be a massive signing. It could be like one of those ones back in the day where, Melbourne would just take a player and you're like, why are they signing him? And then next minute he's like playing for Australia or, the Blues or something, because he's just gone to a new level. But yeah, brilliant from Parramatta's forward pack, backup forward pack there. And what's really good about this too is developing these guys up. When Junior and RCG and all these guys come in, these guys go back onto the bench. Now all of a sudden, when Junior and all that have breaks, they're not. There's not going to be a big gap. Like I noticed last year with Parramatta, you could tell when Junior Paulo and RCG were off. It was a massive shift. Now, these guys getting now becoming legit first graders and. Now that's like really sealed up that gap sort of thing. So great job from BA. Like I said, he's probably, like I said, might sound biased of me to say he's the best, but if he's not the best at developing front rowers of the modern era, he's the second best. He's behind Melbourne. But yeah, Cowboys weren't bad. They were actually okay. Play the ball speed. They won the ruck here. Average set distance 47. Again, 47 from Parramatta. That's brilliant. Line breaks 8 to Parramatta, 5 to the Cowboys. Another big thing. We'll get onto that in a minute. Tackle efficiency, great from the Cowboys at 90%. Missed tackles 32 from Parramatta, 29 for the Cowboys. And yeah, negative. Parramatta did have a bit of the fumbles there for a little while. Only 9 errors from the Cowboys. So Cowboys much better than the week before. But yeah, I think the game really swinged at the end. Todd Payton actually said it. He said we'll do a really good job, and this is why this is a stat that not many people sort of give Mitch Moses credit for, but he said Mitch Moses, he's got the longest boot. Like maybe Burton's longer, but it's if Mitch Moses would have to be a close second, I'd say. Not saying he's the best kicker, just longest. He said we'd pin him in their 30 and he'd boot it down there, and we're still receiving the ball on the 10-metre line, and that's coming from Todd Payton. He said every time we did something good, Mitch Moses would just boot it down, and that we were receiving the ball inside our 10 still. So all the good defending they did sort of got removed just by this dude's boot. And then he really turned it on in the second half, scored the try to seal the game, perfect with the boot. So that's what halfbacks get paid for. Turn up in the second half, score, if not score, set up points in the second half. And Dylan Brown too, he was so damn good. I actually really thought Sean Russell and Bailey Simonson, best games I've seen him play. Will Penasini was beasting. And Clint Glusson solid as always. Now, Drinky was great. Felt was pretty good. Matt way better. This Zach Laybutt, dude, he got bathed a couple times by Penasini. Yeah, it was Penasini. But still very solid. I was actually surprised how good he was. He's a good little player. He's tough as well. And sorry, this kid here, Derby. Damn, he was good. He ran for over 200 metres in his debut. So, come on, man. That's what Toto does. What are you doing? Hess was okay. I thought Lukey was actually pretty good, but he got shut down. This Joeski, is that how to say it? Goeski? I forget how to say his name. He's effort, man. He was good. Really, really good. Granville's always got effort. I actually thought this guy was pretty good too. Moretti. He came on and you could hear the crowd roar every time. I think he brought all of Italy with him. You know, he's obviously got that Moretti. He's a Moretti. So don't play around with him. You might end up in some cement boots. I don't know if he's from Sicily, but he's definitely Italian at least. But yeah, he actually thought he had real good leg speed, real good drive, and he made almost that Ruben Cottery small prop, bang, bang, bang. He was good. He was good. Nakatoa made a big impact off the bench too when Joe Alfred and Gowie went off. But Cowboys way better, but Jesus Christ, you're in trouble. Peter Hiku, man, you had a good year last year. You got on a Super League last year, and without being disrespectful, that's where you belong. He's not NRL standard this year. He's horrible. I'd honestly be just blooding this guy for next year and just see you later, Hiku, because this guy looks like he's got a future. Hiku's future is in the Super League, unfortunately. Broncos Wars. All right, so this game was... Look, honestly, I was pretty disappointed with the Warriors. The first 65 minutes, they looked flat. They was flat as a 4-day-old soda. They were... Line speed was slow. Fanua Blake was brilliant outside of that. Tohu Harris, he was brilliant outside of that. They just... Their forward pack laid a great foundation, and then just nothing. Sean Johnson was just... Went back into his shell. I didn't see much of him. He was just... Broncos were okay, but it was just really that. And then we had the incident with the jersey pull at the end where Marcelo Montoya should have scored his second try in 2 minutes to win the game. But obviously Pompey pulled his jersey. And a lot of people asked me in my live, did you think that was... so they just said, Warriors got robbed. I actually think Warriors got some pretty bad calls at the start of the game, and they were not even bad calls, just 50-50 calls that went against them and stuff like that and all that sort of stuff. And I sort of do believe they probably would have been in a better position, but that was a dead set penalty at the end. You just can't grab those. It's hard because especially when you're a new player, you do all that stuff and you get away with it because there's no cameras on you. Like, you come to the NRL, there's 4 refs, a bunker and a million cameras watching. You can't get away. Like, we used to do it all the time, especially in basketball. You just grab a dude, just hold his jersey for that 1 second, just to slow him down. You can't do that. You can't do that in the big leagues, man. And fortunately, yeah, that cost him the game in the end. But yeah, it was exciting. It was exciting because Broncos looked like they had this one iced. Like, this looked like it was done and dusted well before half. And then it was just, it was when was their last try? So yeah, it was try and then try, and then Mariner said it looked like it was iced again, and then it was just try, and then what would have been another try to win them the game. And again, Sean Johnson, missing at a kick, but that's about 3 from 4 is okay. But yeah, Adam Reynolds again, just his boot. Broncos do not win this game if Reynolds didn't play, even though Warriors didn't play great. Just he had that thing on a string, man, and and then obviously perfect with their boot and conversions, perfect with the goal, and then, but yeah, look, it was 4 tries each. Again, a good loss for the Warriors. Like, they didn't get a hiding, but yeah, I was honestly pretty disappointed with them. I thought they should have been better, and let's see how they lost. Just right there is a pretty big start. They completed at only 10%. Broncos pretty solid. It's what you want to do when you're missing your stars, is complete over 80%. Warriors definitely won through the middle. Post contact meters, yeah, got them there for sure. Fanua Blake, man, he's top 5 for me. Fanua Blake's the top 5 prop at the moment. He's brilliant. Tackle breaks, 47. They were definitely winning that too. Average set distance, look at that. Those forwards were just rolling forward. Defence, though, didn't really back it up, didn't capitalise on it. If you can make 50 metres and keep them to the high 30s, low 40s, that's when it's all good and well to run 51, but if you're letting them run 48, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but it wasn't great. But, yeah, they won the ruck, obviously. The really quick play of the balls. What else we got down here? Where are we? Tackles made. So tackles missed, 32, not too bad. Tackles Broncos, 46. Jesus Christ. But yeah, this really killed them too. 13 errors. They went back to the old Warriors where they were dropping balls off kickoffs and stuff. It's just, come on guys, you thought you guys would pass this. You're killing your Warriors fans, man. But let's have a quick look at the players. I thought Coulstard was brilliant. I thought Dallin was... Jesus Christ, he's good, man. He's been learned... He's like, oh, Montoya, all right, watch this. And he's playing like Montoya, bro. He's beast. Rocco Berra was pretty good. Heaps of try-saving tackles too. It was actually really good from the Broncos. I think there was 3 or 4. The Warriors tries, they got held up. It was crazy. Montoya was brilliant. Pompey was actually pretty good to that minute. But yeah, halves pretty quiet. But this dude here, this meat calf, oh my God, he is so fast, man. He was like... Fast, man. Like, I was like, oh, shit. He was crazy quick. Fanua Blake, brilliant. Lussick got knocked out. That was bad. Tohu Harris was brilliant. Bunty was all quiet. I was hoping he'd have a big one. I had him as first try scorer. Yeah. And LIA and... not LIA. Josh Curran and... yeah, that was... Bench was okay, not great. Curran was pretty good. Jackson Ford, was pretty good coming back. But a few of the young Broncos here. Tristan Saylor was brilliant. He looked like he belongs in the first grade. Herbie and Staggs were great. This guy here, Mariner, he was really good. I actually really liked him. Mann and Reynolds, great as always. But yeah, Fords, again, yeah, not it. I'm not feeling these guys a whole heap, to be honest. Like I've sort of said what I've needed to say about Billy. I just don't think he's that super, elite level number 9. Palacela was okay. Corey Jones was actually pretty damn good. Catewell was pretty good too. He needed to step up and have a big game. Having said that, though, it wasn't a game where like Billy was like, ooh, should have I picked him? It definitely wasn't that sort of game. Hetherington was actually all right. He was all right too. No one was bad here. They were all fine. But yeah, I was just... You can see when Flegler and Payne Haas are out of the team. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I thought Tapau came on and did some good things too. But yeah, it's just good job for the Broncos. They won without a few of their stars. But like I said, Broncos, pray your man, pray to the footy gods this guy stays healthy, because I think your season depends on him. I really do. Oh man, this one was crazy too. Now, total discrepancy. I was live watching this game, so I was sort of like half watching and stuff like that. But oh my God, same as the last game. I thought Bunnies had this locked, and then boom, Hopper Wadi. God damn. Yeah, it was crazy game. And then Bunnies got the ball back in good field position, and then it was crazy. It was nuts. I couldn't believe it. It was actually quite funny. So my live was going, and I was actually watching KO on this, and my KO must have been like 5-10 seconds behind, because I'll be talking, watching the game, chatting, and then I'd just see try, and I'd look up and I'm like, there's no try. Then shift, boom, and then I was like, what? So I was sort of like, I don't know, I sort of liked it. I felt like I knew what was going on before it actually happened. But some people would have been mad. But I was like, I sort of liked it. I knew what happened before it happened. And I kept pushing my stream to the end. But it was I don't know, for whatever reason, I was like 10, 15 seconds behind. And but yeah, it was nuts, man. It was nuts. My multi got ruined. So I actually had Raiders to win. I had who else did I have? I had Johnson and I had Jack Whiten. Jack literally threw a pass behind White. Whiten would have strolled over and scored. I would have won $600. God damn it. But anyway, it's all good. I was excited. I was fuming at the time, though. I was fuming. Oh, but no, this was just good fun to watch. I'm actually excited to look at these stats. 50% possession each, both time in possession, 26 minutes. Completion rates, great from the Bunnies, 89%, 84% from Canberra, really, really good. Right, so let's have a look. All run meters, Canberra won that one, which they should have. 1,700 metres for them. They won in the post-contact as well, 600 metres. Line breaks, they won that 7-4. Canberra tackle breaks 31-11, and average set distance from Canberra Raiders 54 metres. Wow, that's insane. And play the ball speed 3:23. That is pretty damn good from the Raiders. Now, just from the naked eye, I know I said I was only half watching the game. It didn't look like they were that dominant as far as that sort of stuff goes, but that's a very dominant performance there. And like I said about the Broncos game, yeah, they averaged 54, but look, they kept the Bunnies to 39, really limited them. So that's brilliant. 7 offloads to Raiders, 1 to the Bunnies. Damn, that's crazy. Let's come down here to defense. 96%. Wow. How did Bunny score bloody 26 points when you're tackling like that? God damn. Missed tackles, 11. That's for Raiders, man. Round of applause for the Raiders, please. God damn, missed 31's not horrendous. That's brilliant. Wow. Inefficient tackles, 4. That is so low. So's 9. Honestly, like, players get that. Like, Ponga gets 9 inefficient tackles a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Raiders in a whole game of footy had 4 inefficient tackles. It's ridiculous. 5 errors to 3. Wow. How good. These stats are off the charts. This is actually amazing. This is really, really good. Both teams. Wow. That's absolutely brilliant. Wow, that's crazy. That blew me away. I don't check these stats before I go on and start talking about them because I like to be surprised by them and go through them. But wow, that's crazy. Now, what made this win very gutsy as well? Obviously, Sebastian Chris went out. We saw Harawira Naira get absolutely obliterated and stretched off the field. He's okay, by the way. He had seizures on the field, which was not good to look at. What else happened? There was something else that happened. Who else went off? Someone else went off. Jesus Christ. Who else? Oh, I can't remember. Bloody having a brain fart. But yeah, it was gutsy. It was absolutely gutsy. It was you could really see when Papali'i and Tarpany were off, but they came back on and really steered it back in the right direction. And yeah, absolutely brilliant performance. Yeah, his Sebastian Chris was solid. Hopewadi was best, absolutely brilliant. Best game I've seen him play. Tomoko didn't quite get his chances from what I saw, but was still pretty good. I think these guys probably could have had a little bit more polish, but not too bad. But yeah, forwards were great. It's good to see Matangi back. Kula Matangi, sorry. Yeah, Totola's good. Cook, I was expecting a massive game from Cookie, and he scored a try. He wasn't bad, but again, like I said about Kate, well, it wasn't one of those games where Freddie would be like, "Oh damn, should have I picked him?" You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't one of those games. But he was still pretty damn solid. Taft did okay. It's pretty big shoes to fill. Jetty Cartwright got over too. But yeah, it was good. But yeah, you can definitely see Cody doesn't look he was brilliant, but he didn't look as threatening. When him and Latrell are on the same side, you can just see the defence like have to spread because they're like, who's going to throw? You know what I mean? Like, so when you're like, okay, we know Corey's going to have to do, he's going to have to do his thing. You could just see the defence. It was a little bit easy to read. So yeah, but yeah, it's just the way it is, man. There's more stars on the park. You got to spread out a little bit more. When you know where the ball's going, when you know it's going to Cleary, or you know it's going to Cody, or you know it's much easier to defend. So, having said that, everyone knew Jonathan Thurston was always going to get the ball, and he still managed to do something. So, yeah, that dude was a freak. But yeah, it was pretty crazy game. Like, the ending was just nuts. Like this Hopewadi try, and then it looked like, I think they turned the ball over again in field position for the Bunnies, and then it was crazy. It was so good to watch, man. I was again, I thought it was iced. I thought the Bunnies were home and hosed, and then Then Fogarty comes in, slots a field goal to absolutely ice it. But yeah, such good fun to watch. Brilliant. Let's move on to this game here. This was my probably least. So we got this one right as well, but probably my least excited game to watch. Not going to lie, but it was all right. It was all right. Now, if you didn't look at the score, you guys can't see my hand there, but if you didn't look at the score, you'd just be like, wow, what a hiding. But 2 from 8 from Hastings kept this thing close. Jesus Christ, Hastings, sort your kicking out, bro. That was putrid. And the conversions, 2 hit the post. The rest he sprayed. Like, he sprayed 4, 2 hit the post. Terrible performance, man. This should have been, well, let's say he should have gone 6 from 8. So it should have been at least another, 6 point, should have been at least, another 4 or 6 points on there sort of thing. But, it was a gutsy win from the Knights here. It was, without the Travojeviches, without Cherry Evans, this was always going to be tough. And again, let's go through the stats and I'll go through the players. Let's not ramble on too long about this game. It wasn't, unless you're a Knights fan, there's not much to talk about in this game. But having said that, we'll get into that. Yeah, we'll go through the players. But Ponga much better at fullback. He was pretty bad at the start. He got smacked around. Errors, intercepts. He was pretty bad, and I was sitting there going, "Geez," but he was pretty good for the rest of the game. And even though he didn't set the game on fire, he looked threatening. He looked dangerous. I've always said he looks more dangerous than he actually is, but he was way better there than he is at 6. That's for damn sure. He got smacked around a few times. Got up. This is the thing, when you get hit with the ball, it's not as bad because you're braced. It's those ones where you're going for a tackle and someone gets collided, boom, when you get knocked and you go down there because they catch you off guard. When you run up and you go and you tighten up and someone just chops you a little bit, it's nowhere near as bad. So he got chopped 3 times, but he was braced for it every time, and that's why he just jumped straight up and he was fine. It's the defending in the line that's his issue. You see it sometimes, and they'll go to brace and then someone else will hit them, then their shoulder will hit them in the head, and because you're not expecting that chop, you go down sort of thing. So when you're running up and you're braced before contact, it's much less damaging. So he bounced up every time straight away and was absolutely fine. So it was good. Dom Young iced the game with a beautiful try at the end of it. Gagai again, Billy Slater would have been sitting here going, oh man, I wish I picked Ponga and Gagai. Like, it wasn't big games from them. I had them as anytime try scorers. Neither one hit either. Bradman Best, probably the best game I've seen him play. Having said that, no offence to the bro, I haven't seen him play a really good game before. He'll have a good patch. Like, he's big and strong. He'll throw someone away. But I felt like he actually had a brilliant game. It was really good. Hastings and Gamble were pretty damn average, to be fair, especially Hastings. Safidi brothers were both pretty good. Leo Thompson was good. Adam Elliott just trying his butt off. Fitzgibbon was great until he went off I can't remember where he went off, but it was maybe around halfway through the game. I think he might have even stayed off after halftime. But yeah, Saab, brilliant full length try off an intercept, great. Ruben Garrick was damn good. Kohler got sin-binned, bunch of defensive errors, wasn't great. Schuster, some shocking things and some great things. I was not feeling him at all. He did some, especially at the end of the game when the game was still in the balance. He kept getting stuck and not knowing what to do. Like, this is why I know he's not a game manager 5/8. Like, can he play it? Of course he can, but I don't think it's his natural game. I think he's forcing it. I think he's been forced into it to try and chase more money, to be honest, from his management, because he's a ball running 13 that can offload and be a link man. Like, he could probably do what Isaiah Yeo does, almost as good, if not better. And Isaiah's the best lock in the game, but they keep insisting on putting him at 6 because they get paid more. Like, if you go back and watch the game, or if you did watch the game closely, you would have seen sometimes he'd run and he'd just stop and not know what to do, and he'd sort of run back along and just like hoist it. And don't get me wrong, he did some brilliant things as well. He did some sparkling magic things, but it's just, like, how many times you see, it's just I don't know. when you need him to make a decision every 7, I don't think it's sometimes he definitely doesn't come up with the right thing. Kicked a few balls way too long. I think he gave away 2 or 3 7 tackle sets. But having said that, Cooper John's just so quiet. I just didn't even know he was on the park. And it was good to actually see young Jake Arthur. He came on and, look, far from brilliant, but I actually thought he was at least getting his hands dirty a little bit more than Cooper John's. I think he would probably... And this is what I've been saying about Jake Arthur. I've never thought he was that bad. I think I've always thought he was better than these sort of other fringe 7s. I don't think he is a genuine... I still think he needs to do his apprenticeship at 6 or 7, but I think he's better than a lot of these. I think he's better than Cooper Johns personally. He came on his first kick was too shallow. His second kick was perfect. He ran the ball a bunch of times after that. Made a really big tackle on Olakwatu. Wrestled him onto his back. I thought it was pretty good. You know what I mean? Perfect? Nah. Was he as good as most genuine halfbacks in the game? Nah. But I think he's better than these sort of guys, these other fringe halfbacks and stuff. I think he's better than Flanagan, who was at the Bulldogs. So I think I'd be looking at giving him a genuine apprenticeship under Cherry Evans for the next year or two, and I think he could develop into a good little player. Really good to see him out from under his dad, where he was getting a lot of shit too. Now, this guy here, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he is the best second stint prop in the game. He comes on and he's a different player in his second stint. In his first stint, he's just like every other mediocre prop in the game. He just does his... Then he comes back. He almost makes a line break for his first run every single time he comes back. I think that's the 3rd week in a row. He's literally, at very least, poked his nose through and run for 10 post-contact metres. This game, he just literally broke into the open field on his first hit up, coming back into the game. I don't know what it is, but if he can do that both times, Jesus Christ. Olakwatu was solid, didn't get enough opportunities though. Kepi was pretty good defensively. But yeah, and then the bench was pretty average other than, I thought Jake Arthur, he did the best he could do with what he was given. But yeah, that was it. That's it, guys. Now let's have a look, see if this ladder's updated yet. Let's have a little look-see. And it hasn't, so we'll skip on. Al, has it? No, it hasn't. All right, so that was a pretty short video, guys. So let's just have a quick look at next week's games real quick before we get out of here. See how it impacts. So we've got Tigers, Raiders. That's going to be a pretty good game. Not going to lie. So remember too, guys, next week we have players backing up. So Friday, yeah, we'll have to see if players are going to be eligible, right to play. So if you've got a Friday night game and your players played on Wednesday night, it's going to be very iffy where they're going to back up. Warriors Dolphins on Saturday in New Zealand. Let's see Dolphins over there. That should be interesting. Players backing up as well, so it'll be interesting to see if Hamaso and those guys and Tommy Gilbert make the trip. Yeah, they might not, because they've got to travel to New Zealand. I dare say they might get the week off, but just guessing. Especially, maybe Gilbert especially. I mean, I'm sure Hamaso is young and he's an outside back. I'm sure he'll be good to go unless he gets a bump. Titans, Rabbitohs. Yeah, they're going to have a few players out, aren't they? So Saturday, so a fair bit of time to recover. And then Sharkies, both guys pretty heavily impacted. So Broncos, they should... The thing about the Broncos, unfortunately, all their players that they've given to the Queensland and Blues are middle forwards, so they're going to be bloody tired. And then we've got the Roosters Doggies who are represented as well. But yeah, so Jesus Christ, this is a big game for the Roosters. Big game for the Roosters. Cowboys Storm, that'll be interesting, but that's on Sunday. So these guys should be ready. And then obviously we've got Origin players in these games as well. So yeah, these guys by Sunday you should be fine. Really, there's sometimes you play on Sunday and then play again on Friday at club level anyway. So I dare say, these guys should all be nice and healthy. And then we've got Parramatta, Knights and Sea Eagles all with buys. So nice to freshen up. So these guys played today. Now they've got a bye. Knights and Parramatta both picked up points. So 4-point games for them today, which is this weekend, which is good. So I'm excited. All right, guys. So just on this, I won't do Teamless Tuesdays this week just because State of Origins on Wednesday And then, like I said, just I've explained, some players will be backing up and stuff like that, so we don't really know who's playing. And then I probably won't do my prediction video. I normally do it on Wednesday. I'll do it on Thursday morning. I'll do it early though, all right? I'll do my prediction video early because then I'll have a better idea who's backing up and all that sort of stuff, and we can go through that sort of thing and see how we go. We'll see how we go, all right? So thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.